look like fun to you? This is what we call a bluegrass jam. And you could join in too on Play Along with Taborgrass. Come and join us. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 8. Play along with Taborgrass. Hello and welcome to Play Along with Taborgrass. My name is Greg Stone, and each week we learn a new bluegrass song for all of these instruments. I'm holding the guitar, and we have Steve over here on the fiddle. We have Linda here on the mandolin, and Elliot on the banjo. And keeping us in time and on time is Dee on the bass there. And we also have the Taborgrassers. Welcome, Taborgrassers. All right. So, today's episode we are going to be learning Cripple Creek, which is that tune that you heard right off the top of the show there. So what we're going to do first is we're going to play it so you can get an idea of what it's like up to speed, and then we'll concentrate on demonstrating each one of these instruments. Now, you can follow along at home with the music. I hope you have it in front of you. If you don't, you can go to Taborgrass, our website, taborgrass.com, and download the music under scores and tutorials so you can follow along at home with us. That's the whole idea, actually. I want you learning this at home. Not just sitting back and just watching, but learning these things. Okay, we're going to put you to work at home, too. Okay, all righty. So let's play it up to speed first, and we'll do all skate, which means everybody plays the lead. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. So that's how Cripple Creek sounds. Now we're going to start with our backup. The backup is the most important thing, which means the chords. We play the chords to back up the lead player. So the chord progression goes like this. We're going to start, the guitars play on the 1 and the 3 beats of the measure. So this is a 4/4 time. So we play the root note, remember? Root note, then strum, then an alternate note, and strum. So we're on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that matches the bass. The bass also does the 1 and 3. Right? So, all the other instruments just strum on the 2 and 4. So let's everybody join on the 2 and 4, and you'll hear what that sounds like. Just a nice, quick little strum on the 2 and 4. So that's what gives bluegrass the swing. So great. So follow at home with your chord progression, and that's how we play the backup. Now I want to start with our demonstrations with the guitar, and why don't we take a look at the sheet music first, and then we'll continue with our demonstration. Okay, here's the sheet music for Cripple Creek for guitar. We're in the key of A, which is designated here. And you see right beyond that, again in parentheses, we have capo 2, which means put your capo on the 2nd fret. Now let's not get confused. Again, we see over here a G chord, right? But that G chord is actually an A chord because we're capo 2, remember. So that turns that G into an A. Okay, so let's not get confused on that. We have quarter notes to start. You know, here we have 4/4 time, right? So that means 4 beats to the measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. So we have 4 beats right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Now, in the first part of the second measure, we have our first 8th note, which the designation is, you know, when they're tied together. It's an 8th note. So that's a quarter note split in 2, basically. So that's just like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is a half note here. It takes 2 beats. So we have one that's split, a quarter note that's split here. Then we have a quarter note. And then we have a half note that is worth 2 beats, right? So let's get our timing right. Now remember also on our down ups, all our 8th notes are down up. Remember that from our introductory class. And all our quarter notes, half notes, whole notes are all downstrokes for the guitar. So remember that. We've got our repeat signs here and here in the first line, which means that we repeat the first line twice, which means 2 A parts. And then we have the B part right here on the same page. It's right down below me, and you see also a repeat sign there. You see a repeat sign there. So we play the second line twice. So 2 A parts, 2 B parts, which is typical of any fiddle tune. And so now let's go for our demonstration. Now here's our demonstration on the guitar. Everybody else will back me up while I demonstrate. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the demonstration on the guitar. Remember, you guitar pickers and you mandolin pickers at home, your down ups are very important with the flat pick. Remember all the downstrokes for your quarter notes, your half notes, your whole notes. When you get to an 8th note, which are those 2 little notes that are tied together, remember we talked about in the music, you have to go down up because you just don't have enough time to go down, down. You have to go down up. So for those 8th notes, it's a down up. So remember that. So now it's time for our demonstration on the fiddle and mandolin. So why don't we take a look at the sheet music first? Okay, here's the sheet music for Cripple Creek for fiddle and mandolin. Again, we're in the key of A. You know, I have it designated up here in the title, but really the only clue that we have here is, or usually in music, is we look over here on the staff and we see 3 sharps, right? So 3 sharps means we're in the key of A. Now this is standard notation again. We have standard notation for the fiddle because the fiddle doesn't have frets. Have you ever seen frets on a fiddle? No, right? Okay, so the fiddle doesn't have frets. Try and say that 10 times. But the mandolin does. So we have tablature for the mandolin. Okay, 4/4 time. We've got 4 quarter notes here, here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a couple of quarter notes here, and then we've got a half note here in the second measure, and that's of course for 2 beats. So you go 2 beats. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 for the half note. Remember that. We have the first line is repeated. You see the repeat signs on both sides here, and so we repeat that. That's 2 A parts. Then the bottom part here, you see the repeat signs on both sides of the music there, and that's repeated so we have 2 A's and 2 B's. Also for the fiddles, remember, we've got a down bow here, that's what that symbol means, and a down bow here, that same symbol. Up over here we have the up bow, which is a V, so that's for the bowing. And for the mandolin, it's just like the guitar. All your quarter notes and all your half notes and all your whole notes are downstrokes, but your 8th notes, whenever you have an 8th note, it's a down up. So 2 A's, 2 B's, and let's go to our demonstration now. So now it's time for our demonstration on the fiddle and the mandolin. We'll start with Steve. Steve, are you ready over there on the fiddle? Okay, and the rest of us are going to back Steve up while he demonstrates the fiddle, and then we're going to go right over to the mandolin. Linda, are you ready to demonstrate the mandolin? Okay, so let's get this started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. So now it's time to demonstrate the banjo. But first, let's take a look at the sheet music for the banjo. Okay, here's the sheet music for Cripple Creek for the banjo. Again, we're in the key of A, and you see up here the designation for capo 2. We're going to put our capos on the 2nd fret for the banjo, and then we're going to play the G chord. But that G, remember, is actually an A because we're capo to the 2nd fret, so that makes it an A. Alrighty, so don't get confused there. What do we have that's interesting here with this piece? We've got these designations down here. We've got index finger, which are the eyes, and then we've got 2 T's, which means thumb, and then back to index. That kind of tells you which picking hands to use in the right hand with your picking hand there. And then also we have down here, we have a hammer on. We've got O2 there with an H up above it, and Elliot's he's gonna demonstrate how you do a hammer on, but that's how it's designated in the music. We've got our repeat signs for the first line, meaning 2 times through the A part. We got repeat signs, those little 2 dots at the end of each side, meaning 2 times through the B part. And so now let's go to our demonstration. So now it's time to demonstrate the banjo. Elliot, are you ready to demonstrate? Okay, we're going to do Cripple Creek nice and slow. The rest of us are going to back up Elliot as he demonstrates the banjo for Cripple Creek. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's all play now, all skate! next week when our tune will be Will the Circle Be Unbroken? So remember to download it from Taborgrass.com, download your music, and we'll see you next week with Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Thanks for joining us. See you next week.